Hello, what's up YouTube? Photographer Ronix Sweat and Atwell. In this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you an easy way of how you can easily get uniform skin tones in your images in Photoshop. So let me just first of all demonstrate for you what we want to fix in this very image by creating just an empty layer right here. So this is for purposes of demonstrating. So you can see that we have a little bit of some red color right here. Then we have some yellows and oranges falling here, and we have some more reds there. Then we even have some more of the red color, and the face is not matching with this area right here. So we just want to create an even skin tone color for this model. So I just delete the empty layer, and in this tutorial we are going to basically be using gradient map. So just come to the adjustments here and simply select gradient map. So when you select gradient map, simply come and select the gradient icon and simply hide or deactivate the gradient map icon right there, or the layer. Make sure you make it invisible by turning this off. So make sure you do this step right. So make sure not the layer mask but the gradient icon has been selected and it is activated right here. So after doing this, we're just simply going to simply left click once, and it's going to open up the gradient editor within Photoshop. And in the gradient editor we have stops right here. So this is going to be the darkest point of the gradient editor, and this is going to be the brightest point of the gradient editor. But these colors that we have initially don't fall, or they don't belong within the model's skin tone complexion. So what you're going to do before we start sampling colors from the model's skin, so that we can map them from the darkest color to the brightest color right here, we simply have come to the sample size and make sure we have 5 by 5 average, so that this pointer or the eyedropper tool can accurately sample the color that falls within the skin tone of the model. So after you have done this, the next thing we're going to do, you're just going to start mapping the colors. So before we start mapping, you're going to make a stop in the middle and measure the location. So we're going to measure the location for this is going to be 50, so that it can be right in the middle. So after doing that, we're just going to start mapping colors from the darkest color from the skin color that we want to the brightest color of the skin. So we're going to start by double clicking on this first pointer. So you can simply double click on the first pointer and it's going to open up the color picker option right here. So remember, the darkest or the left hand pointer is going to be for the darkest color of the skin tone that we want. So we're going to use the face as a reference point by using Ctrl plus, and we choose a darkest color that falls within the skin tone of the model. And for this case, it's going to be right on the cheek area right there. And we're going to simply click OK. Then you're going to click or double click on the middle point, and it's going to open up the color picker tool right here. And we're going to choose a color that falls within the midtones from the color that we want to sample from in this image. So for this case, I'll just simply choose a color right here because I don't want to sample the magentas. And I just simply click OK, and this is going to be for the brightest color in the skin. So double click and we choose a color from the brightest point, which is the highlight. So if at all you're not comfortable with the colors that you have chosen, you can simply click and move this pointer to wherever you want. So after that, we're just simply going to come and click OK right here. And now you can see that we have mapped the colors from the darkest color of the skin that we want on the face to the brightest color. So after this, simply come and click OK. And when we click OK, remember we initially hid or deactivated the gradient layer. So just come and turn it on, and you can see now the image doesn't look okay, doesn't look fine. So in this case, what we have to do, you're going to come to the blend mode right here where it says normal. Simply click and simply change the blend mode from normal and change it all the way down to color. So this is still a little bit too much or intense. So you're simply going to come the opacity right here, and first of all drop down or reduce the opacity to the one of our liking. So until when you feel like all the skin is uniform and is matching, and when you feel like the skin is now uniform and is matching, so what you're going to do, just going to click on this white layer mask and invert it by hiding the effects from affecting the overall image. So simply going to press Ctrl I on the keyboard to invert the effect and come back to the brush tool and make sure the hardness is set all the way to 0 and it is a soft round brush. Make sure the opacity and the flow is 100%. Make sure to have black and white on these two color swatches right here, or you can reset by left clicking on the two tiny squares. Then you can switch between black and white by using X on the keyboard. So make sure white is the foreground color, and remember in Photoshop, white is going to reveal and black is going to hide. That is why the effect was hidden behind the black mask. So using a white brush, we are simply going to come and paint on the skin, and you can see that now it is getting rid of that magenta color that was belonging or that was cast on the model's skin. Even on the model's face, you can see it is now creating that kind of uniform color of the skin by simply painting just on the skin, and it's going to create that kind of uniformity onto the model's skin. So you just be accurate with the painting because you don't want to mess up everything. So you can see right now, this is a before, after, before, after. So depending on the look that you have for your image, you can as well proceed and play around with the adjustments right here. So you can reduce on the opacity if at all you feel it is a little bit too much for your liking. Then you can even spice up the image by simply coming and adding some contrast to the image, just like that, to make the skin a little bit better. Then you can add a little bit of glow or shine to the skin by simply coming to the curves adjustment layer right here. And when you come to the curves adjustment layer, click on the brightest slider and drag it until the image starts brightening up. Remember, we just want to add glow to the brightest areas of the skin. So after that, we're just going to close this and double click on the curves adjustment layer icon or the layer to bring up the layer style dialog box. So we want to eliminate the brightness from affecting the shadow areas of the image. So just going to come the blend if and make sure it is set to gray, and simply click and drag it or drag the effect for the brightness from the shadow areas, just like that, until when the brightest areas are being affected. So after doing this, we're simply going to refine this selection by holding down the Option key on the keyboard for those using Mac. Then if at all using Windows, you can use the alternate key on the keyboard, and you can simply split these to refine or to have the effect blend more into the model skin. So when you feel like that is okay for your liking, simply hit OK. And after this, you can simply click on the white layer mask and simply press Ctrl I on the keyboard to invert the effect. And with the white brush, you can simply paint over the areas you feel should have that shine or glow in your image. And in this way, you're going to be making the image looking better. So let's look at the quick before and after for this very image. So this is the image before. You can see how it was and it had that unevenness within the skin color or skin tones. And this is the after. You have added a glow or shine and evened out the skin tone of the model. So this is it for today's video. And if at all you have learned a thing or two, don't forget to like this video and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. If at all you are watching and you're not subscribed to this channel, Ronix from Ronix Photography, thank you for watching. I'll see you in more amazing tutorials, and don't forget to keep practicing and also keep creating.